Hello, hello. Today we're going to make an apple embellishment. Isn't that adorable? And all you need is a heart shape, a 5-petal flower punch, and just a scrap of brown paper. So to make the little stem. All right, so we're going to punch out some hearts. We're going to punch out a 5-petal flower. We're going to cut off just a little tiny strip, real skinny strip of brown paper. The brown paper, this is 1 inch wide, I think, about 1 1/8 inch wide. So, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut it in half at a diagonal. So let me turn it over on the white side so you can see better. We're going to cut it in half at a diagonal. That way it gives a little point up at the top. Okay, so that's what we need for the stems. So we're going to go ahead and do that to this one too. And just cut it in half. And it doesn't matter if they're all even. Some are bigger, some are smaller. That's okay. That doesn't matter. And then for the flower, we're just going to cut right into the center. So, and I already cut one out of here, but I'm going to cut this one out just so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. You can eyeball it, which I'm going to do, or you can put a dot right in the middle, but just pretend there's a dot right in the center. You're just going to take your snips and snip right into the center. And then right into the center. And there's your little leaf. And then right into the center, right into the center, right into the center. And you have little leaves for your apples. Aren't they cute? So now we've got our hearts, we've got our leaves for the apples, we've got the little stems, and now we've got to deal with the apple shape on the bottom. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the heart shape and we're going to put a little dot right here. Okay, then you're going to take your snips and you're going to cut from the corner right up into that circle. So just like this, you're just going to take and just snip right into it. Okay, then you're going to do one. I like to do one side at a time. I like to start over here and then cut in a circle, kind of in a curve, and up to that point, and then come on this side and I'll turn it over and then I'll cut from this side and curve up. So you're actually making a real wide letter W. You're making a little butt on the bottom of the little butt shape on the bottom of the apple. Okay, so again, you're going to snip right in. Okay, and then I like to start from this side, and I'm starting about where this is, where the snip is, and I'm going to start right here on the edge. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to go ahead and follow the line down, follow the edge down, but then I'm going to curve it, creating that little buttock there. Okay, so just kind of catch it and then kind of curve and up right into where that is, where that snip is, and it'll just fall right off. Turn it over and do the same thing. So again, I'm lining up right where the snip is, and then curl down and around and up, and you've got cute little buns. All right. If you're unsure of yourself, once you get one done the way you like it, use that as a pattern. Write the word pattern on there, and then you can just trace it and cut every single one the same way. Okay? So, and I would suggest to do one at a time, not try to cut a whole handful, because when you're holding on to things like that, then they tend to wiggle around and you'll get a funny little shape. You'll start getting points where you don't want points, and you want nice curved round edges. All right, there's another one. And apples are not perfect. Apples are all different sizes and shapes, and their little bottoms, sometimes they're pointy and sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're rounded. So don't be too hard on yourself. Have faith in yourself, and because I know you can do this. Isn't that easy? Again, and I think what makes it easy is doing that snip first, because then you've got something to work in towards. So again, curve around, get that one little side, curve around and get that other little side. There you go. Now we've got all those little bits and pieces cut off, and now we just get to glue them together. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take the little brown piece and we're going to put glue on the bottom half of it. So I'm going to lay it over here, and I'm just right in the middle, and then push down, pull it down. Then we're going to take the apple and we're going to line it up right in the middle and just stick it right on. So see where I ended up doing it? So I just put glue just on the front of the stem, just from the middle down, and then just stick it right on the back. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. Did I cut exactly enough? I may have. 1, 2, 3. Nope, I've got one extra, but that's okay. All right, again, that point, you want the point up on the top, because all the stems have a little point. You want it to look like that. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on and just line it up so it's lined up right in the middle. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again. And just do half of it straight down. There you go. You can make these bigger or smaller, whatever size you want to make them. And if you're going to do one, even if you're going to do one this size, fold the paper in half. If you want to make big, huge apples, fold the paper in half. Create your heart shape, and then do the bottom the same exact way. And I'll show you that in just a moment so you can see a sample of that. So you can make these as big or as small as you want to. Okay, so again, we're going to line this up right in the middle. Push that right down. All right, so we've got all the stems on there. Now we've just got to do the leaves. So, and again, I'm going to lay the leaf down. And what I'm going to do is the same thing. Go halfway down. So I'm just going to put the glue stick in the middle and then just pull the glue straight down. And then this is going to go on the front. And I'm going to match this point up with this point here. And then just stick it on there. Come on, stay on. Maybe I didn't get enough glue on there. Halfway down, there we go. Halfway down, and then line that up right underneath the brown stem. There we go. Then we're going to do it again. We're going to put glue on the bottom half of this. Turn it over. Line this point up right underneath the stem right there. And there you go. We're going to do it again. Put the glue stick right on the middle, pull straight down, line this tip up right underneath where that stem is. I love it. They come out so cute. All right, and again, we're going to take and we're going to do halfway, pull it straight down, lift it up, and put it right on there. Ta-da! All right, so now let me bring this up closer and I will show you. And you can see well, first I'm going to show you this one. You can see where it's kind of trimmed kind of funky there from when I was cutting the pieces apart. You can just go in and just trim that right off. Okay, so let me put these in closer and I'll bring them up for a closer view. And you can see all my little bums at the bottom. They're kind of similar, but they're kind of different. Each one is a little bit different from the other, but that's okay. Isn't that fun? Let me see if I can turn this up a little bit higher. Oh, that's better. All right, you didn't know your apples had bums, did you? And then we'll turn them over and see what the stems look like on the back. So, and then the only thing that I'm going to add to mine, because I like to put mine in a sleeve, I like to reach in my drawer and pull out one of these plastic containers that I already have cardboard on, because I'm going to save mine in this packaging and then put it in my file. Then I'm also going to add a circle on the back here. So, because I don't want it to all fall apart when I go to pull it off of here. So, and by a circle, I mean this. I keep these little circle pieces of cardboard. Whoops, got a gem stuck on my finger. Get back in there. And what I like to do is this. I like to go like this. Put a glue dot on here. And then I'll put this right in the middle of the apple. And that's going to hold the stem on and give it strength. So now I can take my little pieces of paper. I can pull this out. I can take my little pieces, not paper, little pieces of tape that I keep here. And I can take a piece and I can put it right on here. And now I can put it right here in my packaging. So that way, when I'm ready to use apples, I've got them all packaged up. Isn't that neat? So again, I've got these little circles that I like to have. 1, 2, I think 2 more. 3, 4. And when I have little bits and pieces of cardboard, that's what I like to do with them. Just, again, put the little dot on the back, and then just put this right on the back. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other ones. And that's just for packaging, but also it really does help to hold your, if you're not going to use the images right away, it keeps the stem on there. So I like to do this with most of my embellishments, to add this little piece on the back side, because it definitely helps to strengthen it. Alrighty, and then I can take again a little piece of tape, put this on. I can make a row of apples. Ta-da! Alrighty, so there you go. There are some apple embellishments. So, and I wanted to show you cutting an apple out of a piece of paper. So what we're going to do is, I'll use another piece here. We'll use this one. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it, fold it in half, because we're going to make a nice big apple. So first we need a heart. So we're just going to cut the heart shape out. All right, there we go. So there's our heart. And then remember, we want to cut in on the bottom. So go ahead and cut in on the bottom. And then you're going to go from one side under. And then turn it over. And from the other side. And around. There you go. You've got a great big apple. Isn't that fun? And then you can make a nice big stem and a nice big leaf. And to make the leaf, you can use the corner here. And you just need to fold it over. And make a leaf by doing it like this. Ta-da! And there's a leaf for you. Isn't that cool? And the stem, of course, is just a skinny piece of paper. So there you go. If you want to make great big apples, you can certainly do that. So if you want to decorate your windows or your doors and put some great big apples on there, that's how you can make them. So I hope you like these ideas and you'll give it a try. And until we meet again, happy crafting. Bye-bye.